Hello, HQTs. Happy Monday, June 11th, aka Net Neutrality Day. Or should I say, end of Net Neutrality Day. That's right. You know that concept of a free, open, and fair internet that we've all enjoyed for 20 years and that literally every single American who doesn't work for an internet service provider or isn't part of the multi-million-dollar lobbying effort on behalf of ISPs is in favor of? Well, you can kiss that baby goodbye. Slower, more expensive internet, here we come. At least HQ is free and fast for now. So let's get into it. I'm your host in the shell, Scott Rogowski, live with over 500,000 people, including Sean Yeaton, Jen Mahoney, Tammy Bacala, Chelsea Monty, Robin Lee, Kudzi Chase, Ryan and Lucy in England, who stayed up very late last night for our big Sunday night game, Electric City Express, and Megan Melissa, who celebrated a wedding over the weekend. Prize today is $5,000. That's right, or what it could potentially cost to surf the net per year, thanks to the schmucks at the FCC. If you're still able, Google world's most punchable face. Ajit Pai should pop up. So let's go. Let's get up for this one, folks. Maybe you can lobby your congressperson with your winnings, since our elected officials only respond to constituents with bags of money in their hands. Win HQ and save the internet for all of us. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's get this show on the road at Cumero Numero Uno. What device do people often use to stay cool in the summer? Fan, fantasy baseball, or phantasm? We're getting into it today. Coming in hot and staying cool at Cumero Numero Uno. Fantasy baseball can actually raise your body temperature. When you sit Granderson and he goes 4 for 5 with 6 ribbies, your blood will boil. Phantasms are a wild card, but for a more reliable cool down, turn on a fan and chill. Yes, and put on the movie The Fan with Robert De Niro, Wesley Snipes. 542,537. Moving on, the rest of you getting fanned at Q1. Q2, what major scientific breakthrough came from a moldy petri dish? Instagram muting, penicillin, or animated emoji? You know, in the list of all-time greatest accidental discoveries, it goes Pamela Anderson sitting in the crowd at a Canadian football game, and then penicillin, when Alexander Fleming left a petri dish full of bacteria uncovered and awoke to find the penicillium mold had destroyed the bacteria. 524,157 are getting Q3. What Macedonian king created one of the ancient world's largest empires? Alexander the Great, Sharon the Smooth, or Doug the Decent? Born in Macedonia, raised in Arizona, undefeated in battle, this guy's empire stretched from Greece all the way through the Mideast to Egypt and the edge of India. The kids these days care more about Alexander Ovechkin than they do Alexander the Great. who, well, Ovechkin's pretty great too, but 515,067 are skating on to Q4 this afternoon. Besides English, what is the other official language of Canada? German, French, or Spanish? I just spent a lovely weekend in Canada, running through the six with my jokes. They speak a lot of languages in America's hat, from Aboriginal tongues to Chinese, spoken by over 1 million Canucks. But officially, they'll F that noise unless it's in English or French. Français. Au Canada, terre de nos aïeux. 498,781 saying bonjour to Q5. Which of these is the highest level in minor league baseball? AAA, XX, or single E? Question 5, huh? The minor leagues, the bush leagues. Baseball the way it ought to be. $4 a ticket, 10 cents a hot dog, Nuke LaLoosh on the mound. There are many leagues, many levels, from rookie ball to short season A to single A to double A to triple A at the very top. International League, Pacific Coast League. Shout out Las Vegas 51s, Rochester Red Wings, Buffalo Bisons, Lehigh Valley Diamond Pigs. 453,245 getting the call, getting the cup of coffee at Q6. Who is the narrator of the classic novel Moby Dick? Ishmael, Ahab, or Starbuck? You don't need to read Moby Dick in its entirety to get this one right. In fact, you only need to get as far as the opening sentence. Call me Ishmael. It's basically the whole book right there. It's a lot of back and forth of people asking Ishmael what they should call him. And then a whale eats a bikini babe, I think. 292,025 are going to be swimming on, their boats intact. The rest of you sunk at 157. Moby Dick gotcha. Q7. Which of these costly cuisines was once considered cheap fare for poor people? Bird's nest soup, lobster, or champagne? Oh, bird's nest soup. We meet again, old friend. Today, it's one of the most expensive, but for much of the 1800s, prisoners in America would revolt when they were fed that grubby cockroach of the sea. I'm talking about lobster. Lobster. Yeah, New England prisons were full of them. 223,390 are considering the lobster. And Q8 today, what crime-fighting character is officially a blood relative of the Lone Ranger, the Shadow, the Green Hornet, or Hopalong Cassidy? Now this is where we separate the H-Cuties from the Shaft right here. The Lone Ranger began in 1933 in a radio show created by Franz Stryker, who later co-created a second radio show and couldn't resist writing into a 1947 episode of that one that the Ranger is the great uncle of Britt Reed, a.k.a. the Green Hornet, memorably played by Seth Rogen. 83,826 are going to be buzzing on to Q9. The rest of you getting stung by a hornet at Q8. Q9. Who was the first host of NBC's The Tonight Show? Jack Parr, Steve Allen, or Johnny Carson? Oh, you kids out there, you think Jimmy Fallon was the first host of The Tonight Show? Oh, no. It takes a long time to grow a legendary show. Before Fallon, there was Leno, and then Conan, and then Leno again, and then Johnny Carson for a 3-decade run. Before Carson, Jack Parr. But before Jack Parr, it was Steve Allen kicking it all off in 1954. I name-checked them last night on Q12, if you were listening. 22,243 surviving a slightly savage Q9 here. We do lose 60,000 plus down to 22,243 for Q10. The scientist who co-created the first rabies vaccine also helped develop what? Food canning, safer milk, or wireless radio. He was a biologist, a microbiologist, and a chemist. And his name was Louis Pasteur. He was highly qualified to make rabies go away, as he did in an 1885 experiment, decades after he killed bacteria by sterilizing milk. He made milk safer with pasteurization. Got milk? 11,983 of you got Q10 correct, which means you're getting a Q11, the penultimate question. What amount of money is mentioned in the 7th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution? A piece of silver, $20, or 5 pounds sterling? Amendment number 7, the second of 2 amendments dealing with jury trials. Oh, the most exciting of the amendments. It guarantees a jury to citizens, quote, in suits at common law where the value in controversy shall exceed $20. Dollar bills, y'all. 5,813 of you knew it. Who was on the $20 bill back then? Andrew Jackson wasn't in politics. We'll ask that on a future quiz. But right now, you care about Q12, the 5,813 left standing for $5,000 on the line. It all boils down to this at Q12 this Monday afternoon, kicking off the week with a hot question here. From 1977 to 2011, what was the shade of the only monochromatic national flag? Blue, green, or white? Oh, Flag Day's coming up, folks. You could argue we should have saved this question for then, but no, we celebrate Flag Day all week. It's Flag Week on HQ. Before caving to a more typical four-colored flag, Libya's Muammar Gaddafi took the country into what was known as a great age of prosperity for him. And for much of his rule, the flag flying over the great socialist people's Libyan Arab Jamahiriya was entirely in Islamic green. Green as far as the eye can see, and 4,197 are winning that green today, baby. You did it! 41